What happens to that bargain when you then run out of the stuff? See, that's what's actually coming in the next 10, 20, 30 years of our country's future. Then you're left with neither sovereignty nor stuff, and that's when you have a revolt. When you have the first generation that paid in or was asked to pay in that doesn't actually get paid out, then I think we're done as a country. And that's why it's relevant to you. That's actually your generation. You're on track to be the first generation that will have been asked to pay in, and by the way, have ceded your sovereignty at every step of the way. But you actually don't get the stuff that was part of the bargain in the first place. You don't get paid out. So what's our way out of this? I don't think economically there's an obvious way out of that. This is what the left wants to do. The left's solution to this, what I described so far, is mostly nonpartisan, if I may say so. The left has an observation of this, but a solution to it. Their solution is tax the rich and make it work, okay? Kick the can down the road. We got to produce more stuff because the trade-off on sovereignty, that's here to stay. In fact, that's not only here to stay, it's part of the left's dogma in the first place. We solve this by just taxing the rich and kick the can down the road until there are no more rich, but maybe that'll be a long enough time from now that I'm dead and gone. That's not my problem to deal with. That's the left's solution. It leaves a deep dilemma for us on the right, actually. And when we think about the future direction of the conservative movement, this is the fork in the road. Once we win, what do we do with it? Well, we got to understand the why of why we're going through the motions, why we labor through these slogans or whatever during a campaign. Why? It's because we care about one or the other of these visions. On one vision, it's that, well, we do need to keep the stuff part of the bargain, but maybe to different kind of stuff, to different kinds of groups that were forgotten over the course of the last 60 years. And no doubt, the Civil Rights Act and Lyndon Johnson had one set of group of Americans in mind, but there are different groups of Americans that were left behind instead. And that's a different vision, to say that, okay, the nanny state's here to stay, but we need to focus on certain kinds of Americans who were left behind during that bargain of the last 60 years. And that's how we preserve the balance. That's one view of the matter. There's a different view of the matter, one I'm partial to, which is that we don't want to replace the left-wing nanny state with a right-wing nanny state. We want to get in there and actually dismantle the nanny state, get in there and actually shut it down.